So I woke up this morning and I was just like coming into the living room. I was doing whatever. And so basically, not surprising news, another black man died by a police officer. Okay, that's the end of the video. You already know. So, no, but to be honest, another awful act. Like we've been this is not surprising to the black community. This is not surprising. This is not some new event. It's just like it's the same old bullshit. So, I'm looking at the coverage. And so basically, I've seen, how they like to put certain sections of videos in the area, like this person is reporting, this person is on the main screen reporting. And so they show this little video that they didn't get to yet. And it says, Donald Trump's going to address talking about, basically he said that they should shoot the looters. And basically that's okay. And that's something that should be allowed. And it was on the news, and they said, okay, basically, not even that Donald Trump tweeted it, but the people who are above Donald Trump, like the official White House Twitter, basically, they retweeted what he said, basically saying it's okay to shoot them because they're looting and they're acting like crazy hooligans. They're acting like crazy monkeys. I mean, crazy people. Did I say monkeys? That's racist. And so they're basically doing all of that stuff, they're acting crazy, shooting things up, just being crazy niggers. I mean, people. And so basically, I'm expecting Donald Trump to say something about this, right? And so Donald Trump is talking. I'm sitting there listening to Donald. I'm like, okay, Donald Trump. Here's a video. I'm sitting there waiting.
China's cover-up of the Wuhan virus allowed the disease to spread all over the world, instigating a global pandemic.
Now, as you can see on the video, it says, talking about the incident and what's going on.
That has cost more than 100,000 American lives and over 1 million lives worldwide. Chinese officials ignored their reporting obligations to the World Health Organization and pressured the World Health Organization to mislead the world when the virus was...
Yeah. Talking about China and talking about how they did something. I mean, he going into the history of things, the war, and then he's talking about how we are during this pandemic we are going to basically stop working with. He's disconnected from the health government, the health. Basically, the CDC. I mean, he's disconnecting from people who are basically helping us through this pandemic, who give us the information on how to deal with the pandemic. The ones who would like wear masks and do this and give him instructions on what we need to do during the pandemic. Yeah, he said he's disconnecting from them. So that's a whole different issue. And then once he was done doing his little rant about how China's bad and the Asians, even though they're in America, they're the best Asians and the Asians out there, and China and bad, being racist and doing whatever. He goes out.
I hope that in the years and decades to come, China would increasingly come to resemble its most radiant and dynamic city. The rest of the world was electrified by a sense of optimism that Hong Kong was a glimpse into China's future, not that
and he just walks away and he goes and he leaves. And so the reporters are like, huh? Oh, what? Did he just walk away? And I'm sitting here like, sis, he did. I know they can't hear me. They're in a different area. But I'm like, yes, he did. He just walked away. He left the building. He's gone. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why in the hell are you someone who's going to sit here and say, okay, why is he president? And then I realized this is the society that we live in. We constantly award ignorance and we label it as boldness. Oh my gosh, you said something ignorant. That's okay. You were bold. Oh my gosh, you said something racist. That's okay. We can excuse that. Constantly we award and we allow things to constantly happen. And that's not just the fault of the white people. That's the fault of the people of color who also let that shit slide because so-and-so helped us better than Barack Obama because the black president couldn't do it because he was too busy helping the faggots and not helping the niggers. So that's basically the idea and the concept of what we're doing. Why is he helping the fags? He needs to help us. And so now everybody thinks it's okay to sit here and allow themselves to constantly support Trump even the ones who are black, because oh, he helped the economy, and now I get to work at some place other than McDonald's because he gave me more job opportunities, and the economy is booming. What is going on? The economy is going down. The economy is crashing because he's doing all of this other. I mean, let me tell myself to pause. I'm done ranting about that. All I want to know is why, for what. And then I see a white reporter. So, you know, I'm not trying to come for sis, but she was like, you know how people have to say things in an intelligent way. Let me just dumb it down by what she said. Why do you think this white cop killed this black man? So the black man, you know, he can't sit there and be blunt and be like, sis, racism. So he went all over the place. He didn't have to do all that and sit there and make it this philosophical, theological, you know, this calculated, oh, I'm an educated black man. Because, you know, constantly black men and black women have to constantly show how educated they are so people could take them seriously. So God forbid they just sit there and say it like, look, sis, this is what, you know, we have to prove ourselves worthy of attention from massa. And so basically, sorry, but it's true, but basically, he's sitting there saying, you know, this has always been in the country. This is not surprising. It's always been here. You know, they're just like, yeah. I wanted to sit there and be like, sis, racism. They don't like us. And then I also thought to myself, I said, okay, so George Floyd, Ahmaud, and then we had Brianna Taylor. And so I'm sitting there like, where's the coverage on Brianna? Because the cops literally raided her place and shot her dead. Like, they killed her in cold blood. And I said, where's the coverage on Brianna? And then I realized, I looked at the comments on one of the videos. This is from Eloho. If you know, I'm not even saying her name right. Eloho. You know, beautiful woman. She says a lot of things on her YouTube videos, a lot of topics, a lot of things dealing with African Americans, and, you know, even her culture, like, you know, and all that stuff. You should look at it. I will put it in the description. And so basically, there on one of her newest videos, talking about, you know, black women and how they don't get recognized when it comes to police brutality. And I never really understood, because I was like, oh, well, we need to talk about black men. And then I forget that not only black men are the ones getting killed. I felt bad because I was like, wait a minute. And then I sat there and I realized, like, what about Brianna? And so basically, like I said, she got killed, and only 100, I saw in the comments, only 100 people came to her protest, and it's like a whole bunch of people coming to Georgia's protest. And, you know, that could be due to the area, or maybe due to this not getting enough recognition for her cause and for what's going on in her life. And I'm like, where's the news coverage on that? Where's the news? Because she literally got killed in cold blood. What's the news coverage on that? And I don't see any news coverage. I see only George Floyd. And I understand, because he's important too. And there's a whole bunch of people who got killed and murdered, and, you know, so many people. It's like, how can we get them all? But it's important to talk about black women being killed by the police just as much as it's important to talk about black men being killed by the police. And more importantly, how they, you know, they are of a darker skin tone. We don't want to talk about that either, because people don't think that's relevant. But that is relevant, to sit there and you start to see the pattern of the people who get killed, and most of them are not even light skinned. And that goes back into all the other stuff and complexities of light versus dark, and all of this colorism and all this other, you know, stuff that's been going into in the black community and the stuff we had to deal with. And so I just find it really annoying that we are not seeing more of her. You know, we're not seeing more of her. I find it really annoying that we are not understanding her story, because we need to figure out her story and understand her pain, and understand her pain of her family, basically the pain of her family, because, like, she died. She got killed by these people who just came in and felt they were scared. And we really need to talk about, I wouldn't even really call it the elephant in the room, because the elephant has been crying, the elephant has been drinking water, the elephant has been stomping, the infrastructure of the building has collapsed because the elephant has had a temper tantrum. I mean, the elephant has said, hey, look at me, look at me. So it's like, to sit there and say, pay attention to the elephant in the room, the elephant has been making himself known. So therefore, I think it's just sitting there stating the obvious that we really need to talk about racism in America. And not just, it's like, okay, Alice, we've been talking about it. But no, honestly, not just in the sense of, oh, the cops is killing us, and, you know, we've been through this. We've been through this, been here, done that. Okay. we need to talk about. And I see some white reporters, like the white lady who was sitting there asking questions about why did they do this. I find that stupid. I think a lot of white reporters, a lot of people who are in the public eye, who have the opportunity to call out the racism, a lot of them are scared. Because it's like, I'm white and I don't want to sit there and say it because, I would look at like I'm racist, which that doesn't even make sense in itself, because why would you look racist by calling out racism? Oh, it's like, would you think that you would be seen as a pick-me white? Like, look at me, I'm better than most of the other whites. It's like, people gonna always be ignorant, okay? That's always gonna happen. But you calling out racism would always be helpful. There's been stuff where, white women calling the cops on black people because they had nothing else better to do. It's like, shoot, bang, bang, bang. Let me just sit there and shoot this person up, hurt this person, because I have nothing else better to do because I like being racist, and the cops is how I utilize my racism. What I don't understand is, also, with that being said, with the white people standing up in a position of power and being able to sit there and call out racism, well, instead of asking dumb questions like, why is this happening? Like, you don't know. Like, I refuse to sit there and think that white people are that disconnected from what's really going on. I refuse to believe it. I don't think white people are just lost like, oh my gosh, that black man just got shot, just got killed by that white cop. Why did that happen? Why are we not loving each other? Like, I doubt that Salt is really that shocked that Pepper has been shattered on the floor. I doubt that the unseasoned chicken is very surprised, that the seasoning is being abused. I don't understand why we're sitting here having this misrepresentation of what's really going on. I don't understand why we're sitting there having this confusion, this amnesia dust. Maybe it's, I made a philosophy, not a philosophy, I had this theory that maybe it is a form of the COVID-19, and maybe a strand within the COVID has somewhat elevated and somehow mutated into somehow like harming people psychologically, and that's why people that physically they can't think about anything, they can't really recall information or recall intelligent thinking, or they can't really comprehend what's really right in front of them. Is because the COVID has somehow circulated within their brain cells and their brain activity, and it's somehow fractured their way of thinking. Maybe it's just a theory, okay? It's just a theory. I'm not sitting there saying, I'm just saying maybe it's a COVID malfunction. That's what I'm going to call it. Because honestly, sis, I don't understand why people are asking stupid questions like that. Now that I think of, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt in the beginning of the beginning of the video, but now not so much. I don't really like what she said. That was stupid. And also they want us to feel sorry for cops. Okay. And there's also another thing. Why, the black cops are speaking of, I guess. They want us to feel sorry for the cops, I hate when people always want to do this. I don't feel sorry for why should we feel sorry for the cops? My dad, he fought and this thug came out of nowhere and shot him. Well, baby, your dad signed up for that. If you go to the police academy and you were literally being in a precinct that's near the hood or near a place that has high gang activity, what did you expect, sweetheart? No time to be scary. That's like me sitting there signing up for the military and sitting there being scared. Like, I don't know if I want to go shoot that person. Well, baby, it's too late. The bullets are flying. The people are sitting there. You see that the boy has a bomb strapped around him because they wanted to send him out there and destroy the world. You see what we have to do. Why are you acting brand new? That's my problem, because why are you sitting there trying to defend people if you're scared? And then I realized they're not scared. That's not fear. That's racism. Racism and fear, they may look the same, right? Because they're shaking and they're scared. But it's not necessarily the same, right? It's not necessarily the same. It's not necessarily just fear. You have to get into the specifics of, my phone about to go dead, so it is what it is. But you have to get into the specifics of what's really going on. Racism and fear, it's not even, it's a fear of black folks. But that's not just, it's just fear. We should just categorize it as fear. No. It's fear of black men. Black men. And it's not even just fear. It's anger. They're not scared. This is not only just being scared. Because when you got someone handcuffed You know they can't get up. You know what gun? What gun are they gonna reach? You know they can't get up. And so therefore, I have to say it 3 times so you can get it. Now you're just doing it just to kill someone. Now you're just angry. Now you're just mad. Now you're just, what are you angry at? What did they do? What did they do? Oh, I know what they did. They lived. They crossed paths with you. They had an opinion. They thought the field nigga is sitting there. How dare the field nigga defy massa? You know, it's, how dare you? You pick cotton, like I said. You know, how dare you live your life and live in peace and live in harmony and do whatever the hell you want to do, because all blacks are thugs. But God forbid we sit there and talk about how Tyler or Johnny going to shoot up the church, how they get special treatment because, oh, it's not racism. No, it's not racism. It's mental health. You know, because they love to sit there and use the mental health card. A black person say they suicidal, or a black person sit there and did something and, you know, they mentally unwell. Oh, they crazy. You know those crazy niggers? A white man goes and shoot up a Walmart. Well, you know, he did get bullied in high school and, well, oh my God. Well, you know, Johnny really had a rough moment, and I'm usually with my husband. You know, I really don't pay attention to him because why should I? You know, he's really my stepchild. But, you know, he said he wanted to do hunting. I said, okay, Johnny, whatever, get the fuck out of my face. And he just decided to go shoot up those kids. And he hears voices. He told me that he heard the devil. A black person does something like that. Thug, ruffian, evil. I mean, I'm not saying that all blacks do it, but we saw it coming. We saw it coming. Look at that nigga, that thug. Look at him, that hoodlum. We knew it. Look, cause he was sagging his pants. I knew his ass was gonna shoot up that school. You know, that's what they do. They you know, I heard they be shooting people at the grocery store. I knew. You know it. You know, it's not gonna be, well, let's give him sympathy and let's see if he can. It's gonna be, oh, you should jail. Life. Well, you know, maybe life. Well, he did get bullied in life. Jail for life. Then, okay, I have to go get my tuna salad. You know, I need to go on a lunch break. You know, end of session. It's not gonna be, oh, let's see and let's understand, because they don't want to understand. They want to lock you up. They want to lock you up with the key and throw the key out and say, oops, I don't know where it is. Oh, well. And then they want to leave. Because they don't give a fuck about the black people. That's not sitting there saying, oh, like I said, yeah, there are black people that do crazy shit. Hispanics do crazy shit. Have you heard of the cartel? White people do. Have you heard of the mafia? I mean, this has been here, sweetheart. Get used to it. Get used to it. And then, of course, I'm thinking, okay, all the black people are going to be on the side. All the black people, all of a sudden, I see a black man, and he over here talking about some, well, I don't even know why y'all upset. Because y'all don't even know cuz like that. I don't even know why y'all upset. Y'all don't even know cuz like that. I don't even know why y'all upset, man. I'm just saying, like, look, I understand to be emotional and stuff, but y'all don't even know cuz like that. So why y'all sitting, why do I have to know him? Why do I have to know him personally? Why do I have to have a family connection with him? Why? I'm not crying. Because, you know, as a black American, you usually get numb to this stuff unless you see it, you know, unless you have a front row seat to it. You usually are numb to it. You know, if you want to have an over expression and an over, you know, emotional reaction, you know, usually you might want to, you'll get a front row seat of it. But some people like me, I'm middle class, I live in the suburbs, even though I'm in South Mississippi, literally the breeding ground of racism, I'm still somewhat safe, thank God. Thank God. And therefore, I haven't had a front row seat. However, that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit there and just be like, oh yeah, it's sad, rest in peace. Anyway, so like, that's wrong. When I hear a black man sit there and say that, like, why? No, I'm not saying you have to sit there and to see it as a sign of weakness, to feel the need to sit there and be like, okay, let me sit there and do a protest. When I was looking at the George Floyd coverage, and they said that basically they shot up the, hold on, what percent? Oh, it's on 1% child. Anyway, so when I found out about that black man and what they said about that man, I was like, really? Really? And that's the problem when we feel the need not to stand up. Again, if you lived in America, you would know. And it's so crazy because I was looking at something recently. And it was literally like this little food, this History Channel thing. And they were talking about, back in the day and how fast food started to boom and how it started to get to other countries and other parts of the world and how they were like, America is so cool. And it's so funny how we shift from being, oh, we're so revolutionary and, oh my gosh, we created this, to like, oh, those fat Americans and look at that. And, but when you put people in the presidency like Trump, what do you expect? And what bothers me is people want logic now. Yeah. Malcolm X was somewhat peaceful. Yeah. Martin Luther King was peaceful. But they got shot, baby. They got shot. They got killed. And it was said that Martin Luther King got killed not by the bullet, but by the government. So do you honestly think that with that history of people who literally brought us equality, those are just two people. We got plenty of other people who literally got killed, but some of them lived a good life. Some of them couldn't have the chance. With that being said, you already know how they feel about black people. But again, black people, not just black men, black people. Because women get it too. They don't care about women. You think they have this women and children mentality? I'm sorry. That's rocking the boat. I don't want to be too disrespectful. I don't want to race bait. Gosh, I'm so embarrassed. It's not all about race. Maybe this was a mistake, Maybe all of those white cops who was putting their legs onto him, who were holding him down, maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe he was a terrorist, like a terrorist who had an ID card and no gun, and maybe he had like this, this Russian technology invisible bomb that was around him, and they deactivated by killing him. I mean, come on now, nothing's off the table. And maybe the reason why Trump decided to not address the situation was because, guys, he's a very busy man. He's a very busy man. He has a lot of things on his plate. I mean, come on now. Can we at least talk about that? Can we talk about how hard Trump is working? Okay, now we don't have to deal with the health people, the health.org, the health government, those people, the health headquarters. Because why should we got this. It's, there's only about 100,000 deaths in America, but who cares? Who cares? They're mostly old people. I'm not saying yes, there is value in all life, but I'm just saying, maybe we should sit there and think about that. Maybe we should look, no need to get angry. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm pro-reasoning. Because that's what this situation deserves. Reasoning. Because those people out there looting and acting crazy, that is bad. Bad news. We need to sit there and we need to do it in an appropriate manner. And that's how you do it. Yeah. Is that what y'all want? Y'all want us to comply to this fantasy of equality, this all lives matter? When y'all don't treat all people the same? Is this really what y'all want to do? Are we really playing this game? Are we really playing this game? Y'all just love killing us. Kill, kill, kill. We already kill ourselves. I heard a story of a woman who literally had a hairdressing store. She got shot in the head by this dude. Black dude, of course. In the hood somewhere. She dead. Everybody run out. Leave her daughter. Her daughter sitting there watching her mom bleed out from her skull. That was in the hood. Her name was Justice Destiny. And apparently some people tried to jump her over some hair bundles, and then a man came and then decided to shoot her. So, sad story. Surprising, no. But it is a sad story. Then I said all the hood is like that? No, not everybody in the hood is like that. I know people who are actually from the hood. Not these people who claim they from the hood. Not these people who came from the suburbs and then they went to the hood to make a career for themselves. And said, no, some people, I'm old timers who really about that life. Really. They're about it. They're about it. And I know some people, they're not about it. They're not about it. I don't go around saying I'm from the hood. I mean, because I'm not. I'm a suburban. Hey, Darla. Yes, is that your lab? Oh my gosh. Thank you. No, I do love that pumpkin pie. I hate the pumpkin pie. You know, I'm not, you and me are not the same, but therefore, sitting there talking about violence, period. Going back to this, people want to sit there and be like, why bring race into it? Because we have to bring race into it. You guys want to live in this utopia. And some of y'all, where are the Christians coming out of the wet works? You know, where are the Christians coming out? Where are y'all? I don't see no Christians. Does Al Sharpton have to be the representative of Christianity all the time? He's been here for years. Can someone else come out? Where's those white evangelists? Where are y'all? Why haven't I heard y'all say something? Y'all think y'all don't have the right to say anything? You can say so, sweetie. It's okay. Speak up. Does T.D. Jakes have to do it for you? Where is nobody sitting there saying, I'm going to offer the funeral to help y'all do the funeral? Now, maybe there has been coverage, but I haven't seen no pastors. And this is why I get upset about Christians in America. This is why I get upset with some of y'all, because y'all want to sit there and be mad. Oh, I'm a victim, and they said that God was gay, and they so, like, baby, this is the world. Don't you know some people got to go to hell? What do you think hell is for? Some people are going to go to hell. I'm sorry. You can't save everybody, and people are going to be disrespectful. Someone who, like I've always said, talking to myself, pretending like I'm on the Ellen show, going off on her. Like I said, I was talking to myself, looking in the mirror. Because if you read your Bible, is the ice cream man out here? What in the world? M&M's. I watched it and everything. God made sure that we weren't going to have a utopia. Well, really, we made sure, but God gave humans a choice. And by giving us choice, we have the ability to make the bad choice as much as we can make the good choices. So you have people having the ability to make racist ass choices. They do not care. They do not care. Who is they? The people who make the bad choices, they do not care. It's justified because of people before them who made bad choices. And so basically, that's just the way it is. But y'all need to talk about that. And we have been talking about that, but I'm talking about y'all, the white folks. Come on, help us out. Y'all the ones with the privilege. Lord knows when we start not doing stuff peacefully and start, blowing up the precinct, y'all want to get an attitude. Y'all want to get upset. We being disrespectful. We being ruffians. It's wrong. Let's try to stay alive the best we can. God be with us. Goodbye.